Did you see what Draymond Green did again? In the final stretch of a crucial game against the Minnesota Timberwolves, in front of thousands of fans at the Chase Center and millions watching at home, with the game practically decided, he shouts, "The point spread." Just like that, out of nowhere. A provocation? A mockery? Or something more serious? What seemed like just another classic Draymond moment might actually have much bigger implications. But that's not all. What the NBA did after this episode reveals a growing concern within the league. The tension between players, sports betting, and the integrity of the game. And there's one detail in this case that could completely change the way the NBA handles situations like this going forward. Before I tell you that detail, if you enjoy videos like this, with behind-the-scenes drama, controversial decisions, and everything happening on and off the court, hit the like button now and subscribe to the channel. That simple gesture really helps keep the channel alive and ensures more people get access to content that traditional media doesn't show. Here's what happened. In Game 3 between the Warriors and Timberwolves, with just 15.2 seconds left on the clock, the score at 102-94 for Minnesota, and Draymond Green already out of the game. Sitting on the bench, he stands up during a timeout and shouts 5.5. That phrase is a direct reference to the game's betting line, which had Minnesota favored by 5.5 points. At that moment, the score matched the spread exactly. This wasn't said behind closed doors or in a post-game interview. It happened courtside, picked up by the microphone, in front of players, referees, and the audience. The NBA, despite still playing at a high level, on Wednesday, the official announcement came, a $$50,000 fine for Draymond Green for an inappropriate comment that questions the integrity of the referees. The statement came directly from Byron Spruill, the league's president of operations, and the tone was clear. This kind of behavior will not be tolerated. And it's worth remembering, this isn't the first time the league has come down hard in a situation like this. Last season, Timberwolves center Rudy Gobert was fined $$100,000 for making a money gesture with his fingers after a controversial call. The message was simple, suggesting that referees are swayed by financial interests won't be accepted. But Draymond's case goes further. He didn't just imply it. He directly mentioned the game's point spread, which is a foundation of sports betting. That's a comment that crosses a dangerous line at a time when the NBA is profiting more than ever from commercial partnerships with betting companies. And this is where the situation becomes even more delicate. Draymond's comment comes amid a rapid expansion of the betting market in American sports. The NBA has multi-million-dollar deals with betting platforms, displays odds during broadcasts, and even encourages the integration of this world into the sports consumption experience. But at the same time, the league needs to protect the integrity of the competition. When a player publicly shouts the betting line during a game, what does that say about the neutrality of the spectacle? And what's to stop someone from starting to question the fairness of the outcome? Draymond Green, already known for his provocative style and for crossing lines, is once again at the center of controversy. And it's no small matter. He already has 5 technical fouls in these playoffs. If he gets 2 more, he'll be automatically suspended for 1 game, which could directly impact Golden State's performance in the postseason. That adds even more pressure on him and on the coaching staff, who must manage the balance between the intensity Draymond brings and the risks he poses on the court. But what's at stake here goes far beyond a fine. It's the sport's credibility. It's the public's trust that what they're watching is real, competitive, and fair. And in an era where betting is part of the NBA's ecosystem, every gesture, every comment, every provocation carries enormous weight. So the question remains, will the league be able to control this? Or are we entering an era where the line between entertainment, provocation, and integrity becomes increasingly blurred? And if you enjoy this kind of analysis that doesn't stop at the headlines, drop a comment below. In your opinion, was it just typical Draymond provocation, or did he cross the line? Do you think the NBA was right to fine him, or did they overreact? Let us know what you think. And with that, the NBA makes one thing clear. Anyone who crosses a line, even with just words, can face serious consequences. But while Draymond Green faces yet another fine and reignites debates about ethics and gambling the game, a different kind of silent bomb is forming behind the scenes in Golden State. A bomb that could fully explode in the offseason. The name? Jonathan Kuminga. Even though the media is handling the situation cautiously, sources close to the franchise are already confirming the inevitable. The marriage between Kuminga and the Warriors is hanging by a thread. And now, not even a brilliant playoff performance seems enough to save the relationship. Everything points to the front office having already made its decision, and it leads to one specific destination, the Brooklyn Nets. According to Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report, there's an increasingly likely scenario developing behind the scenes, a sign-and-trade deal in which the 6'7" Kuminga would be sent to the Nets, while Golden State will receive Cam Johnson, a top-tier 3-and-D wing. The trade has not been officially announced, but the chessboard is set. The moves, the signals, and the whispers from behind the scenes are all pointing clearly. Kuminga's days in San Francisco are numbered. But how did we get here? Not long ago, Kuminga was considered a key piece of the franchise's future. An explosive athlete, defensively versatile, with the potential to become an all-star. However, his relationship with Steve Kerr deteriorated over the course of the season. The breaking point came in the final game of the regular season against the Los Angeles Clippers, when Kuminga was listed as DNP, did not play. No injury, no planned rest. He just didn't enter the game. And for a young, despite still playing at a high level, that represents a short-term. Even after returning to the rotation in the playoffs, it became clear that his inclusion wasn't out of trust, but out of necessity. With Stephen Curry sidelined due to a left thigh strain, Kerr had to improvise. Kuminga was used in spots, especially in the win over the Houston Rockets. But the message was clear. He's not part of the team's core. He's only used as an emergency solution. And number 22-year-old with Kuminga's talent wants, or should want, that role. That's why Buckley's projection makes so much sense. Golden State knows it can't keep Kuminga without offering him a larger role, and of course, a contract to match. But then comes the math. While Kuminga's camp is aiming for a $35 million per season deal, the Warriors have reportedly made it clear they won't go beyond $30 million. A seemingly small difference, but one that is crucial in practice, especially when dealing with salary caps, taxes, and roster planning. And in that equation, one name fits perfectly. Cam Johnson. Johnson, who stands 6'8" and holds a career three-point shooting average of 39.2%, is already on a 4-year, $100 million contract. Exactly the kind of deal the Warriors would be willing to absorb. Plus, his playing style, solid defense, and high efficiency from deep is a perfect fit for Kerr's system. He doesn't need the ball in his hands, knows how to play off the ball, defends the perimeter well, and creates spacing. Perhaps more importantly, he brings stability, no drama, and no locker room issues. Behind the scenes, Brooklyn's interest goes way back. Back in October 2024, Jake Fisher reported that the Nets were the team most interested in making a big offer for Kuminga. Now, after falling to the 8th spot in the draft lottery, the trend is clear. The Nets are likely to pursue a young, ready-to-contribute talent instead of placing all their hopes in a rookie. And Kuminga fits that mold perfectly. He has elite physical tools, playoff experience, and is still developing. Another relevant factor. According to ESPN's Bobby Marks, the Nets are the only team with at least $40 million in cap space this summer. That means they have the flexibility to absorb Kuminga, even if it requires adjusting other contracts. It's the kind of scenario that gets built behind the scenes months in advance, and is now starting to surface. What the Warriors can do is try to secure some return before losing him for nothing. A sign-and trade involving Cam Johnson is one of the few ways to balance talent and financial control without sacrificing immediate competitiveness. But if this trade happens, it would also signal something bigger. Golden State's quiet transition into a new cycle. The Curry era is still alive, yes, but the decisions the front office is making now point to a team that wants to compete without betting everything on developing young talent. Kuminga was seen as a gamble, but he didn't fit the system. Cam Johnson, on the other hand, offers a more solid promise of direct and immediate contribution. In the end, It all comes down to franchise philosophy. Do the Warriors still believe in the internal growth of their young players? Or are they doubling down on veterans, experienced role players, and a roster built around a core that's slowly aging? If you believe Kuminga deserves a team where he can truly shine, or that Golden State is making the right call by moving on, drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to know your opinion about this move that could reshape the future of two franchises. And of course, leave a like if you haven't yet, because here we go beyond the headlines. We show you the behind the scenes, the dilemmas, and the paths nobody else is seeing.